Hello, beautiful friends. I am back live. Super excited to be here. There is a moment of quiet in this house, and I'm just relishing in it. Today's live stream is all about the benefits of our kiddos incorporating journaling into their daily routine. And this is something that I'm really excited to talk to you about in real time because Kai is like right at that cusp where I think he's ready to start implementing some of these more simplified practices. And I wanted to share a story with you about Kai beginning to journal unbeknownst to us, and just some of the foundational skills that will really support your little one's development. So before we dive into that, if you are live with me, say hello so I can shout you out. And also, if you aren't aware, on this channel, there's going to be a really big focus on conscious parenting. And so if that is something that you are really interested in and want to have more content, access to masterclasses, free content, programs that I do, all centered around conscious parenting to support you at every level, I'm going to be dropping a link in the description box once this live is ended, and it's going to put you on an email list that's going to be catering that specific content to this list. It's also going to give you a really steep discount on one of my favorite masterclasses. It's called Visionaries. And Visionaries is all about us creating a really strong context for us and our families that's able to hold us through not only the joyful times, but also the really difficult times. That way we have a clear and guiding light when things get heavy, when things get challenging. We're not searching on Google looking for answers. We're not asking, friends and relatives, which could be great, but really this context is going to be centered around you and what's best for you and your family. So that way we can tap into that soul alignment. And when we're able to do that and move with that, it's so much easier for us to raise a heart-centered, soul-aligned generation. So if you're into that, once you sign up through the link in the description box, you'll have access to that discount. You'll also be on the list for giveaways. I'm going to be really stepping into a lot more giveaways with my community because this content is so near and dear to my heart, and it's made such a big impact in my life, in my marriage, and within our family dynamics. So I just want to share all the goodness with you. All right, guys. Hi, Sandra. Hello, sunshine and beauty. Good morning. I hope you are well. All right, guys. So journaling for kiddos. There's a really funny story about this. So Kai just turned 6 last Saturday. We celebrated his birthday. You guys, if you caught me live last week, you know that I was giving tips around party planning and all the beautifulness. It was great. He had such a beautiful time. It's so cool to see him transition from like little kid to a bigger kid. He's really owning it and he's been ready for it. So that has been beautiful. Along the flip side of that coin is the increased independence, also the increased vocabulary and ability to express themselves and communicate in a way which doesn't always feel wonderful for the person on the receiving end, e.g. the parents. So this probably happened a week ago or so now. Maybe you guys saw this in my Instagram stories. Kai was a little wound up. He wasn't listening well. We asked him to go to his room to have some quiet time. And in that quiet time, he must have started the practice of journaling, unbeknownst to us, because a few days later, I went into his room. He had just left for school. I was looking for something. And I saw this. Oh, that's what it was. Naya was really into coloring. So she made her way to Kai's room because he had some coloring stuff out. And she started to draw on a paper that he had already created a drawing on. So I flipped the paper over to have a blank side. And on the blank side of the paper read, and not lined paper, just free written, "I am sick of you." Now it's funny because clearly I took it personally. I was like, clearly he's talking about me. There's no context, there's no name, but it had to have been about us. And I thought, like, is this a parenting loss or is this a win? And I had some really insightful messages from you guys, but ultimately it is a really beautiful thing because he's learning how to regulate, right? He's learning how to communicate his emotions in a healthy way and express himself in a way that is, safe, it's secure, and it makes him feel good inside. And so it got me thinking, I was like, oh, well, maybe we need to start journaling with Kai. The universe supports this notion because on his 6th birthday, his grandmother gave him a gift. She didn't know the context, she didn't know about the story, but she surprised him with this big life journal. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I had never heard of it until we received it, but I'm in love with this and I want to share with you. And there's, I'm sure, plenty of journals that are just like this. So let's not get caught up on this particular journal. If you're interested in it, I will link it because you can purchase it on Amazon, but you can get any journal. What I really like about this specific journal is, I want to show you guys, it's really focused on growth mindset. And so each day there's a prompt. There's a, today I'm grateful for, or what made me laugh today was, and then there's these faces, right, that depict the different emotions that your little one is feeling. So within this is the great practice of recognizing the primary emotion that you're feeling, to be able to recall something positive that happened within the day. And then there's opportunities to not just write, but to also draw. So depending on your little one's skill level, and it's why I said Kai's like right at that threshold. He happens to be a really great reader, so he'd be able to actually read this and do the activities. But if not, your little one might wait a little bit more time where you can help them. So let's get into the main benefits of your little one journaling, which I'm here for, and which is why we're going to be implementing this as a daily practice going forward. First and foremost, it's going to help your little ones build emotional intelligence skills. And this has been a really big focus. This has been like my primary vision specifically for Kai, is to really have a strong foundation for emotional intelligence. What does that mean? It means he's able to recognize the different emotions that are playing at any given time throughout his body or his mind. He's able to communicate it in a way that feels safe and secure for him to do so. So that also means that we are supportive. His environment is supportive on helping him find language or to feel the emotion without there being a sense of it's too much or it's not safe, right? So that really means that me and Mike are going to model this for him. We're going to feel safe and secure within our emotional range so that Kai sees mom gets angry sometimes. Mom feels really sad sometimes. This is how she deals with it. It's also safe for me to feel angry sometimes or to feel sad sometimes, correct? So it's really building the emotional intelligence skills to be able to open up your journal on any given day, depict the emotion that you're feeling. And what I also love is there's even a blank one. So if your little one's feeling some kind of way that isn't depicted, they get to get creative and showcase the unique emotion that they are experiencing within their body. So this practice is really helping your little one increase their emotional awareness. Because sometimes our little ones they may feel the emotion, but that cognitive piece, they're not recognizing that they're feeling that emotion or that they're riding that wave, right? So this practice really helps them get into that deeper level of awareness. Second is, we've talked about this, it's a healthy outlet. I thought it was so beautiful because you know what? When I think back to that day, I might have asked Kai not to slam his door on his way upstairs because sometimes when he gets really frustrated, it's like full on teenager mode and he'll slam the door. And I might have asked him not to slam the door. And I don't think he did slam the door, but he took all of that intensity and that fire and he channeled it on a piece of paper with a pen. And he felt that I am sick of you. It was very like bold, right? And I think that's so beautiful because when he came out, he was regulated, he was calm, he was ready to move on. It's very natural for our little ones to feel their emotions. It's when we place the external judgments and stories on said emotions that those secondary emotions come online, like shame or guilt, right? So keeping the transaction clean, like having them recognize the emotion, supporting them and feeling their emotion, giving them options to have a healthy outlet for those emotions are really, really key to increasing that emotional intelligence. So the third big benefit for our kiddos that I see with this practice of daily journaling is, I've mentioned this before too, but self-regulation, especially as they enter 6, 7, 8, 9, they're relying on us less for co-regulation. So when our little ones are toddlers or infants, they're really needing us. Sometimes it's that sensory component of like proprioceptive input, like a deep squeeze to help them literally calm their body and feel regulated. But as they get older, they're clearly developing more independence and they have more tools in their tool belt to help them do it on their own, and they're not needing us. So how beautiful is it then when I was able to reframe after the oh, how dare he, well, I'm sick of you too, child. So after the initial like offense that I felt, it was like, wow, it wasn't a suggestion on my part. He just thought to do this. And I give him so much freaking credit because he's a brilliant child and he's intuitive. And most of our children are very intuitive if we give them space to operate with their intuition. And so it felt intuitive for him to just sit down and release through writing. But also, it's also been a very intentional aspect of my journey with Kai. It's been something that's been a part of that bigger vision that I was talking about within the Visionaries Masterclass that I've sat with and refined time and time again as he gets older. Because as our kids evolve, so too does our bigger vision. So too does the context that's holding that vision, right? So it's just so beautiful to see that unfold real time. Because as you know, there are moments in this parenting journey where you're like, is this thing on? Oh, hello, is this thing on? And then they'll surprise you. When you let your kids surprise you, they will surprise you. So these are the three main things, three main benefits that I see for our younger to entering older kid age range to begin the journaling practice. I think there was another page in here I wanted to show you guys. Something else that I love is there's not just what am I grateful for or what made me laugh or what did I do great today. There's also pages as your little one gets older, or you can help them with this, that state what can't I do yet. And then there's also pages of what are my goals, what are the steps to achieve those goals. So again, that gets to be a little bit older, but we can also step in and support our kiddos to start to think bigger and have the goal or the growth mindset incorporated into their daily practice. So it's just a really cool tool that I'm excited to see Kai utilize as it feels good for him. And I'll just be supporting him in it. And then for our parents with really little ones, this also starts from such a young age. So you guys probably have books like this or flashcards like this and have started to utilize this when your little one was an infant. And this is like what we do with Naya, how I feel, right? This is like the beginning of building emotional intelligence skills, just identifying the very basic emotions that we feel. And what I think is so cleverly done about this is it's through the lens of Naya's peers, right? So it's cool to see older kids or even adults with pictures of these emotions, but to recognize another baby or another toddler feeling shy or feeling upset or feeling tired, like so this one, it's backwards, so beautifully illustrated or depicted in this book. Naya's really engaged with it. It's like, oh, when she sees the picture of the sad baby, she goes in now and leans in and gives the baby a hug, right? So there's that emotional intelligence piece that is also coming online. So this is like the very basics. This is starting with step one, and then you see how it expands and it increases and we graduate to the big life journal. And journaling has been a really big piece in my life, and it wasn't something that I started with as a young one, but it's had a profound impact on who I am as a woman, as a mother, as a friend, as a businesswoman. And so I'm just really excited to have this be integrated within Kai's day-to-day practice. So let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Oh my gosh, I love that. I know, me too. I'm so excited. My little one is only 4 months, but I'm already taking notes. Exactly, because it starts super young, and that's the perfect age. You know, we're reading to our kids from day one. It's never too early to start showing them or referencing the emotional range, right? Because it's really important for them to build deeper connections, to understand, to show compassion, to have conversations, right? So, yes, I love when kids get healthy outlets. Hi, Zia. All right, friends. So that's what I have for you on today's live. If it resonates with you, if you love it, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps the algorithm. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the bell notification so you don't miss content like this. I am going to be going live much more often. We'll be including some Q&As. Naya starts daycare on Monday if all goes smoothly and well. So it really just frees up more space and time for me to do lives like this. And I'm really excited to be engaged with you all and learn more about you and your little ones and your parenting journey. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. As soon as I'm done with this live, I will insert the links that I have mentioned. So just hang out a minute or two for that. And I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye, guys.